May I please speak to Joanne's subconscious?
Yes, the higher self, a few collectives, and the subconscious are here to help you today because we know you have many important questions to ask us.
Yeah, we really, really do. So thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Um, we're going to start off light, and we'd like to talk about the moon, please. Why did Joanne hear limited info about the moon during her session? For example, why did we not hear that it had been taken over?
Right. The question that was posed to her about the moon is, what is the moon? The answer that we gave her was, it is effectively a satellite that is used to be able to implement frequencies and energies backwards and forward. And that is the information we wanted her to hear at that time, and that is the information she needed. Did she need to know that there had been nefarious activities happening on the moon for a period of time? No, because that would have distracted her into the negative. She asked the question about what is the moon, and we gave her the technical purpose and the original purpose of what the moon was designed, that current moon was designed for you and the planet. Did we mistell her truth? No. We gave her limited information about the purpose of the moon. We gave her correct information about the purpose of the moon, and we still stay strong and true to that information. The purpose of the moon was that it is a satellite. It was always to be a satellite, and to make people emotionally attached to their bigger purposes, their home connections, their home planets. And it is still used as that and can still be used for that. Just like when someone asks in sessions, what is the purpose of my life, or what lessons do I need to learn? And there are thousands of purposes and thousands of life lessons you need to do. Do we go all into full-on detail and drag out the session for hours, or do we summarize things? And this time we summarized the purpose of the moon and what the moon is. We did not add the negative misuse of the moon at that small time. There was purpose there. We allowed the misuse of the moon, and it was all good. While people say that bad has happened, bad has happened, bad has happened, we've been watching and monitoring, and there is no true bad. You stub your knee, you learn not to be silly when you're running, and you grow from that. It's not bad, it's learning. So when you can see things from the bigger picture and trust that while it may feel bad, while it may be hard to process it while you heal through that skin knee, you learn from it and you don't make the same mistake again. Ideally, you do not make the same mistake again. And so it seemed insignificant. She wanted to know the purpose of the moon, what the moon was. She wasn't asking for the history of it and if it's ever been corrupted or misused or anything. So we gave her what she asked. And this is very important to remember. The questions for these sessions are very important. While we could tell you everything, we only give you what you ask for. And that's the truth in these sessions. And that's the truth when we connect to you in a meditative state, when you're wanting to connect with us in the privacy of your own home, or when you're out in your garden or on your streets walking, or however you want to, whenever you want to connect with us. While we know what you're hoping we will tell you, we have to have your permission. You have to ask us directly. No hinting or half suggesting. Be open and honest with us, and we will be directly replying back to you.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for explaining that. And it also answers another question that I was going to ask, so I really appreciate that. Okay, we were wondering, subconscious, why some people that we know in our lives, why are they losing their hair at the moment?
The bodies are changing, the hormones are changing. It is just growth. It is imbalances to some things, but it's nothing to worry about. You're actually growing a lot more of your hair. And so we know it's a very concerning thing when you start noticing this shedding. But you molt, just like animals. You have seasons for it. You will get your winter coat and you will get your summer coat. And so if you are artificially heating up your environment, it's too hot, for example, you're triggering your body to thinking that you are in the summer or the winter months, and so your body is reacting to it. It is nothing to worry about. There is things, of course, that we can do to help you if you are concerned about the lack of hair. For example, this vehicle is shedding a lot too, but it's coming into her summer months and she has got a lot of hair, even though it's very thin. And so she's shedding the weight so she's not so hot. There's a lot of energy that comes into her body. And so the head is very hot quite often. And so her body is naturally trying to release the overheating, really. And her hair is very long. And so it is her body's way to be able to balance the energy and the flow of things. There is really truly nothing to worry about, but we do know because you are very attached to your appearances that the loss of hair can trigger people into a little bit of worry and concern. If there is massive clumps of hair that is coming out, then we suggest that you are in a very highly stressed state. Your body is really calling for attention. And maybe it is to trigger you to really think about your values on your beauty. There's a lot of purposes for these things. And while it is an individual level, we feel like someone here listening now has had clumps of hair being released at one go. And we want to say to that person that this was us trying to tell you that you need to be able to love yourself even if you're bald. You need to love yourself even if you've got the extra weight. You need to love yourself exactly how you are. And when you're blocking yourself from profoundly loving yourself, you're blocking your life. You're blocking seeing and feeling all that you need to. And you are so much more than your physical bodies. You know, we know this, you know this. And so it's about losing the attachments to it and the value of your bodies. You are all having to shift soon and evolve into your other bodies. And so you may not look exactly as you are now. So we don't want you to scare you because we know you're very attached to those bodies. But it is going to happen regardless. And so you have to be comfortable in your own skin. Very, very comfortable in your own skin. Remembering that nothing is happening to you that you have not agreed upon. Remembering that this is a human experience which you are about to graduate from soon. So this may be one of the last things that you're prepared to accept. And you don't have to accept it. It will be, we don't want to say forced upon you, but essentially it will be. Because you have to evolve. You have to evolve. You have to evolve.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And you know what? We hear this a lot. Just love yourself. Just love yourself. Love the skin you're in. How can we actually go about doing that, finding that love for ourselves?
Remove expectations of what you should be looking like. Remove comparing yourself to others. Stop taking selfies and putting filters over yourselves. Actually be honest about who you are. And having to accept that is huge for many. Many don't like to look at themselves in the mirror. Many people refuse to. You have to see the raw you and be okay with it. And so it is with nothing we can do. This is all your inner work. This is your own homework that you must do. You chose your bodies. We did not assign you your bodies. When you were writing your life contracts, you were writing your location of your birth, who your parents are, you were making all these agreements and arrangements. It wasn't just oh, let's just throw ourselves on earth and good luck to us. It was a very, very well-planned experience that you signed up for, who your parents were, what gender you were, what you looked like. You chose everything while you wanted to have your experience. It wouldn't be helpful for you if you had this any other way. You are in control of everything. And this is why you get so stuck sometimes, because you think that this is all happening to you, when it's not. You have placed yourself in the exact moment of where you are right now, including the bodies, including the families, including everything. This is because you wanted to experience your life exactly how it is right now, for the exact lessons that you have the opportunity to learn and grow from. Are you growing? That is up to you. Are you evolving? Yes, that is up to us. We are definitely doing that for you. So you have this opportunity to do what you want to do. And when you have your veil removed, you will see how this was important for you to be able to learn those life lessons, to remove that karma, to be able to evolve and graduate emotionally. We were talking about evolving physically. So it's very possible for you to love yourselves. It is very, very, very possible to just accept and to know that you're the most unique sunflower butterfly out there. There is no one that's like you. And when you see yourself as that unique individual who is amazing and kind-hearted and a caring individual who has humanity's interests in your forefront of your minds, how uniquely special is that? You know your intentions for humanity, you know your intentions for the world and your friends and your family. So now it's about self-indulging a little bit and giving your own love and own consideration back to yourselves. You are so worthy for it. So this is your homework.
Thank you very much. I know a lot of people will be able to relate to that. I think it's one of the most prevalent problems that we face as a human race, is that lack of self-love. So thank you. Our next question is, with regards to the election, the current American election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, just making that clear, what is the purpose, what is it teaching us? What is the purpose of what we're all feeling and experiencing with regards to the running up to the announcement of who wins?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Very appropriate questioning. Are you triggered? Have you felt frustrated that the truth has not come out? Have you noticed that there is such obvious mistruths and nonsense happening? It is so clear now. And it is frustrating that there is literally two sides of the story. There is the Trump trying to change the rules and stop the counting from the mainstream media point of view. And then you have the Trump who's asking why the counting has stopped. This is interesting how two camps have two very different stories. But the truth is that you can see, has the counting stopped? Did the counting stop at the night of the election? This is humanity's last chance to awaken to the truths that you have been lied to. This is dumbed down and made it so simple, so clear, so obvious where the situation is at hand. People have to remember that when people wanted to awaken, they wanted to do it by themselves. And now this is so obvious what is happening. This is, without giving it away and without directly telling them, this is blatantly now proof. People have to hear what Trump is saying to then realize that the mainstream media, again, is not telling the truth. But they have not heard this. This will be news to them. They have always assumed that the mainstream media is telling them the truth. So there's going to be more sharing of the truth more than ever now. The social media platforms, the people who are just so shocked that the truth has been withheld from their other Facebook friends, their other social media platforms, it's got so outrageous that now people are willing to share the speech from Trump, who was saying, why did they stop counting? I'm confused here. You don't have to tell people who to vote for. You don't have to tell people how to be careful of the mainstream media that telling you lies. All you need to do is share the truth, share the information, share the actual statements that Trump has been saying without editing it, and people will want to find out the truth themselves. And this is, we all know friends who have tried to help support and give the truth to about what our concerns are, crimes against humanity, the agendas of a lot of countries, a lot of people, and such. So this is the final help, the final leap, final stepping stone that we're giving people to be able to finally start questioning, how come this is not true? How come this has happened then? Of course, there are people that will never know the truth because they are here to stay on the old earth. So it doesn't matter. They could have been sitting there listening to Trump saying, why are they stopping counting? And they still would hear him saying, I want the counting to stop. So those people are those people, and they will never be those, there'll never be anything else. This is the purpose of what's happening now, is to awaken those who should be awakened. Those who are still stuck, lingering. This should trigger them. We want people to be triggered, and I'm sorry when we know that this causes confusion and upset and frustration, but you have to all be triggered to be able to stop trusting what you're hearing and start thinking for yourselves and start questioning for yourselves. And so you will do a little bit more research, and you will want more information, and accidentally, while you're in your rage of being triggered, you may accidentally stumble upon the truth, which will then suddenly change your triggered to, hang on, wait a minute, what? And you'll start thinking more like, but that's not the truth. I've heard something else. And you'll start focusing more and more and more and more and more, and you will be hungry for the truth. So we're sorry that a lot of people wanted this slam dunk that would have caused so much carnage. You have been lied to by your mainstream media for quite some time now, quite some time. And for those people who have been believing what they have been told, and so they're seeking out, oh yes, we were told that he was going to be doing something naughty about the truth. So when you find out the truth and what actually truly Trump did say, you're going to be like, wait a minute, excuse me, please, what? It is all purposeful. So we understand the people who know the bigger purpose here, who understand what's really, truly going to happen to your planet. Remember, this is another awakening. This is the final big awakening before our own awakening. This is the last chance that these people who are still asleep get to be shooken awake. But while we want to shake them ourselves, we don't need to. We all need to just share the truth. Sharing the truth, this is part of your role, is to share the truth without your personal ego, without your judgment on others, without anything else that may trigger them even further. So we're giving them breadcrumbs. You can give your friends breadcrumbs. Don't go into arguments with them because they're too triggered for you to even reach them right now. But it is about just lovingly sharing the truth, your truth. This is for you to be empowered with what you know. And there is so much beautiful lessons here, so much, so much. And this is truly a gift for humanity, to be able to help awaken your brothers and sisters who are still sleeping. So we understand this is frustrating, but you now can see the bigger purpose, and it is beautiful because those people did truly, truly, truly want to waken up naturally. And while this is going to be hard for them because it's going to be quite shocking, this is growth for them. They will be disappointed if they still are asleep by the time we turn on the lights, shall we say.
Thank you very much. That's great. I was actually wondering, subconscious, if I could interject a personal question that I just thought of, that I think would be beneficial for everyone to hear, actually. Um, in as we've been talking, I've had two moments of deja vu, and I had another deja vu yesterday. What is deja vu, and why are people having it right now?
Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. It is, you have dreamed it, you have dreamed that moment. You are recalling the dream where it's a lucid dream where you are in that moment. And it is to remind you it is partly to take notice and be aware of what's happening because it's important. You're wondering whether it is a different timeline that you're jumping backwards and forwards into.
I'd heard on the grapevine that it's sort of like the universe's way of letting you know that sort of this has all been planned out and you've already lived it and you're just sort of going through the motions of what you've written for your life. And I've heard other things like it's a break in the matrix, a glitch in the matrix. And I just had two there while you were talking, so I thought I might just ask about it.
Yeah. No, it is good. Your minds are aware of the moments that you're living, and when you feel like you are having a very strong sense of, I've already lived this before, you did dream about it, you did experience it in your sleep. And so you are already tapping into what is happening. And potentially you actually are coming back and reviewing that moment as well. So you are, it's when you really are, it's almost, we want to say it's like your higher self is actually with you at that moment and viewing your life, what is happening here. It's like a check-in. There's something obviously to be worried about, but you're more connected to your higher self when you have that deja vu because there's two things happening. You had dreamed this moment, so you've already felt like you've already lived it, but also you're more connected to your higher self when you're physically going through that. It's like your higher self in a dream is saying, when can I come in to check on you? And you're saying, at this moment here. And so then when you experience that moment there, that's when the higher self is with you then. So it is, the higher self doesn't like to come in and go through your shit, shall we say. It doesn't need to or doesn't want to come in and check on you with your permission. And we ask for your permission in sleep state with your conscious mind in that environment that your subconscious mind. So it is kind of like a visit from your higher self that's been organized while you've been sleeping. And you had that conversation with your higher self and while you were sleeping. But remember, when you're sleeping, you're not in the body. So your conscious mind is elsewhere, really. And your conscious mind is more with your astral bodies, and it is, you actually do a lot more than what you think you're doing while you're sleeping because you'll leave your bodies and do other things. So it was a conversation that you had with the higher self. When can I come and visit and check out and see how you're doing? And so then this is what you experience. Your higher self is then with you, and you're feeling this more connection. It is interesting. It is interesting. In terms of the broken matrix of glitching, we don't see that. So it has been, yeah, this is what we want to say for that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And sorry to just put you on the spot like that, but I just kept coming up, so I thought I'd just ask. So thank you. That makes a lot of sense. I'd never really thought about that. So thank you. Um, So subconscious, we would like to ask about med beds, and we would like to know whether the healing that you receive on a med bed is instant and you walk out a new person, or not a new person, but a healed version of yourself, or does it take time for the healing to take place and manifest?
It is an instant thing because it is changing things at a structural level, cellular level straight away. And so it's like 3D printing, but at a medical level. It is instant. It is very much instant. It is very hard for you to understand how things could be changed instantly, but when you're aware of what you are, and how you're perceiving your bodies as being very real and very physical, and the med beds know who you are and how you actually are, it changes everything. There is no pain, there is no discomfort. You are very relaxed into it, and it is instant. You will sit up and walk out of the med bed experience, and be amazed. Amazed. It doesn't take very long, and the results are instant. Of course, you will have potentially you could have new muscles, potentially you could have new organs, and parts of you will be babies again, new, not babies, because we don't want you to think you're going back. So parts of you will be new. And so, when you have something new, you've got to be gentle with it and grow into it. You will have to understand that you will strengthen from the med bed experience. And, when you go to the gym and you strengthen something, you've got to be gentle with yourself afterwards. So it is growth, and you can strengthen yourselves more and more and more afterwards. So there is that time factor, and if you want to use time, but it is instant results, but then you have to accept that there is some maintenance and there is some adjustments that have to take place after the healing.
Yeah, okay, amazing. Thank you very much. So in the session previous to this one, Jess's higher self or subconscious spoke about Hitler and the concentration camps, and mentioned that Hitler wasn't as bad as we once thought he was, and that the gas chambers weren't really a thing and no one really died in the gas chambers. We'd like to know, with regards to all the personal testimonies and all the footage of the chambers and of the testimonies, how is it that we have been sort of tricked into believing this? Where's the line, if that makes sense? Do you understand my question?
Yes, we are fully aware of your questioning, and it is not a coincidence that you're asking us this, considering what we've already discussed about the elections and what people are believing about the elections right now. And that your eyes give you information, and that what you see is what you believe, and what you hear is what you believe. And so you have been tricked visually and audibly many times before, many times before. We want to give you the information about the man on the moon, for example, another conversation we have had with you today. You have seen men in space suits bouncing around on what you thought was the moon's surface. But the truth is that wasn't a studio, that footage. You did not see the men on the moon at all. Nor were you there, and nor was that footage taken on the surface of the moon. But we can tell you how many people believe that men bounced on the moon and you saw that footage. We also would like to tell you and remind you about another event that you have all thought you have seen, which is the Twin Towers, with the planes crashing onto the surface of the towers, and that causing destruction of those towers. Now, what do you know from this now? We have told you in sessions that was holograms, that was manipulation, and that's not the truth. But your eyes saw it, and you heard them tell you what had happened multiple times. You heard them say planes hit the towers at this time and this morning on this day, those planes hit those towers. You have been told that so many times. The thought of you stopping, thinking, and questioning those events seems outrageous because you have been told so many times. So, in terms of the Holocaust, people back then were told and shown information that was for them to react to, be triggered to, and act upon. What happened in the Holocaust was a well-orchestrated event which was supposed to awaken humanity, and truth was supposed to come out then. However, the cost of sharing the truth then was your lives. The cost of sharing the truth back then about anything not only would cost your lives, but the lives of the people you love, the lives of the people you're close to. It was too dangerous for you to tell the truth then. It was too dangerous. You all had to go back and do the narrative of what you were told you must be saying. There is a lot of trauma there. There is a lot. And this was a perfect time for humanity to awaken, but it was too dangerous. The risk of awakening then was too dangerous. It was played out as it was, and now you have to learn from that as a historical moment in time. We can never let that happen again. We can never let the truth kill you. And while it has killed some recently, it will not kill the individuals who are using social media platforms. You may get blocked, you may get banned, but it will not kill you. It will not kill your family. It will not kill your friends. And the truth must come out. It is so obvious now. Everything is so easy for you to be able to share. Some people say that this is a spiritual war, and this is a war on social media. Your minds must be able to discern that you are safe. The truth will never hurt you physically by sharing it and telling your truths. Yes, you may get some arguments. Yes, you may get some hecklers. Do you have to engage in that? No. Are you safe in your own home after you've shared your truth? Yes. Are you comfortable enough sharing your own truth? Just like, are you comfortable enough in your own skin? The rawness of your naked bodies versus the rawness of your mind and what you believe and hold dear to you. This is all inner work still. It's all the same. What has happened in the past has been is purposeful because you can learn and grow from it. And while this is not the question you have asked from us, and this is the information we want to share with you, because going back and thinking about the grisly times of injustices hurt you. But right now, there is injustices happening right now too. And so we want you to focus on your current days now, because these are the most important days that you are living. Is this acceptable for you?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I appreciate you answering it. And I absolutely get where you're coming from. It's just, I suppose it's a realization. It's like it's a little wake up call as well, that even something that big could be manufactured, and like I've seen footage of old, very old people saying, "This happened to me. I was there. I experienced this." And what would you say? Who are these people, and did they really experience it? Are they actors, or how does that work?
Um, trauma, trauma. And also, there is a lot of scary things that did happen. We're not going to say it was all perfect and it was a holiday camp. It wasn't. There were some places that were very horrible. Absolutely. There are places that did do things that were very challenging. There was lots of fear of diseases. There was a lot of fear of a lot of stuff happening. Um, the experience of children who were very traumatized, the parents didn't tell them the full truth, so you don't get the full picture when you're a little child experiencing your whole world being turned upside down. And so while you make up your own pieces to the puzzle as a young child, and then other people are confused as well, and so there's kind of like the whispers and the misunderstanding of things, you can get a lot of that. You can get a lot of misinformation just through trauma experiences. Lots of people did die, lots of people were killed, but were they truly the German camps? Were they truly part of that? You cannot take anything as face value on footage. You know now, you know now Photoshop and editing tools. We're not saying that those were editing tools back then, but just like how important the questions are in these sessions, it is quite important to ask and know what the questions are being held with these people when they're being videoed and footage has been taken. There is a lot of highly motivated footage being taken that is leading to their narrative. And anyone knows that you can, with selective photos, can be very suggestive. Editing can be very suggestive. There is a lot that has happened, and while you have seen some very horrific documentaries with information that are just so heartbreaking and unbelievably just heart-wrenching, you really have to be there to have known exactly what is happening there. And it's very emotive. It is very, very, very interesting. And you will find out all of this information. When the veil is removed, you will be able to question and tap into exactly what happened and see it from that. It is very, very very agendaed. A lot of agendas there for money, for control, for manipulation, for fear. It is very sad, and this had to all stop, and we did intervene because it just couldn't continue on how bad it was. So again, we are happy to answer all of your questions about this, but does it help you right now, knowing the things that you do right now? These could have been questions that you could have appropriately asked earlier in the year, and we could have unfolded everything for you. But with the days that you have ahead and how everyone is being very triggered to be able to stumble across the truth and find out the truth, and to be able to have honesty win and fairness win, it is so important to focus on these days ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I get it. I get it. It's just, that's just a big bit of information that I suppose maybe I'm just processing myself, and I didn't want it to come across as if I was sort of saying, sorry, no, this, and this proves that you're wrong. It's just I'm trying to understand it, how it could possibly, something so big could have been manufactured.
And
It's just
Andre, what you're experiencing right now is literally what people are going to be experiencing when they suddenly discover that what they have been told by mainstream media literally is not what they're going to see when they watch Trump do a speech. So this is literally happening, playing out to you right now in the electoral situation. And so what you're experiencing and feeling about with the Holocaust and situations, you are literally, because you don't care about the current election with the Americans, you don't care. Like, it's like, okay, take it or leave it. But what you are feeling is what people are about to feel when they suddenly wake up to the truth that they have been misled on the election front. So, you know, how are you feeling? We can ask you this. How are you feeling? Frustrated, confused, irritated, you want to know the truth, and you feel like you have been mucked around with emotionally and mentally. Like, you know, unpack how you feel about the Holocaust information that we've shared with you. And then now you can place yourself into the newly awoken to, wait, what? I've been lied to? From, or how long have I been lied to? You're constantly being lied to. Forever you have been lied to. Once since you had mainstream media, since you have followed leaders who have hidden agendas. You know, this is not just an incident of just the Holocaust or the moon or the Twin Towers. This is everything, everything.
Yeah, okay. I actually had never pinpointed that lesson, but thank you for pointing that out to me, because that makes so much sense. So thank you for
So
that.
you're welcome, and we're so pleased that it's all unfolding in this very important session, because we know you're all at your little stuck levels, and we love that we can help you see the bigger purpose and picture of things here. We do love you so much, and we want to support you so much and help navigate and guide, but we also know there is so much going on in your worlds right now, and you're a little bit topsy-turvy, and we want to help you ride the emotional roller coasters that you're experiencing. Enjoy them. Think about it as boogie boarding on a fun, warm beach. You're not going to hit rock bottom. And if you did bottom out, it's warm, soft sand. And so think about that as emotions. And when you ride high those waves, you feel the sun, and you can hear the laughter of children and the excitement of a beautiful, wonderful day at a most beautiful, beautiful, safe beach. Think about your lives like this now, please. Don't go, oh my gosh, this roller coaster is crazy. I'm going to go insane. Take me off this world now, which we know a lot of you are wanting. Enjoy the roller coaster of emotions of this experience right now is being taken on the water, up and down, soft waves, ha ha ha, laughing, 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 and ride with it, roll with it, flow with it. Do not worry. It is a beautiful, beautiful experience in the water and the sun, and you are not too hot. You don't need sunscreen. It is just perfect. And soon it will be over. Your holiday will be over.
Yeah, that's totally great advice. Yeah, because I suppose we're so focused on it sort of just ending that we're forgetting to enjoy the ride. So I think everyone can take that
Just
advice.
wanted to say with that analogy, some of you have not even unpacked your swimmers. You are still at the hotel and you're refusing to get out and play in the water. You're like, no, I'm still packed. I'm ready to go. Thank you very much. I'm done. And we say we understand that is protecting yourselves. And we're saying you're allowed to have fun with this now. If you want to go and trigger some of your friends who are very focused on loving mainstream media, this is your opportunity. Have fun with it. You don't have to trigger them if you don't want to, but if you just feel compelled to help them, and you know, there's obviously different levels of triggering people. As soon as you start judging them and making them feel like you're attacking them emotionally and mentally, that's when we sort of say, please don't. But have fun with it. Get your togs on, go down, go to the beach, ride those waves, knowing that everyone's laughing on the other side. Okay, so you've got a little bit of time left to have fun. You're not going to be as Joanne would say, you're not going to be an arsehole if you're trying to help people find the truth. That's all you need to do is show them the breadcrumbs of the actual truth. They will find it. Many people are watching everything you're doing on Facebook and all your social media platforms. They may never comment, they're lurkers. They will grow and they'll thank you for that because you're not directly telling them, watch this, you idiot. This is the truth. Here's the way, you jerk. You know, you don't need to approach that like that, and we don't think anyone really here would. But it would be helpful for you to share the information so then they can quietly listen while being anonymous. You won't know that they've watched that video that you've posted. They may not comment on it. They may be seething for a little bit when they realize what's happening, but they will thank you quietly, privately, later down the track when they have suddenly started doing their homework, because lots of people need to start doing their homework. So check what you're doing. Have you still packed yourselves up and you're in that hotel not wanting to leave and have fun at the beach? Or are you riding those waves, laughing every time you get wiped out from a bigger wave that's made you stop and think, okay, right, well, I should have been focusing on things a little bit differently and just roll with it. It's a game, it's a game, it's a game. Do not take it too seriously.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just FYI, is Domino's part of that wave?
We see you, Andre, on a surfboard, standing up, riding all of those waves while eating the pizza and loving it. And we say that you're looking fantastic with your body and you're a shimmering god. That is, we say this with much jest, but we do know that sometimes even your surfboard bombs out and digs into the sand, and you sort of face plant into the sand, and you're mortified that people may see that. You're mortified that you've even seen that, and that is fine. You pick yourself up every single time. Look at you. You pick yourself up every single time, and you get back on, and you have not gone back into the hotel and packed up your stuff and you're waiting to count down. You are still out in the sun. You're still living your life. You're still experiencing it with others. You're still connecting. You're still trying to connect with us. You know, that is fantastic. You are living. You are living.
Well, it's amazing. Thank you so much. I did hear you, but all I heard was Domino's was good. So, no, I joke. But thank you so much. That's really amazing to hear that. Thank you all. Okay, we'll move on. Our next question, subconscious, is how is Joe going to experience the 11th of the 11th? So this month, November 11th, 2020.
Well, after we've just given her the analogy of being in this beautiful beach and just riding the waves, she is just going to see a lot of the waves hitting and crashing, and she's going to be fine with it. She's just, you know, she is going to see the bigger picture and purpose of everything, and she's not going to get distracted and emotionally broken from it. She is going to respect what's happening, understand what's happening, and be able to float with it. It is not an analogy. This is an analogy. We're not literally saying to her she is going to be in a flood. You know, it is going to be fine. She is going to be fine. She is going to be with her children, and it is going to be a very relaxed day where she is aware of what's happening, but it will not be bothering her in any way.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think once we're all seeing it from the bigger mindset, we can see it for what it really is, so we can kind of look at it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I've got a bit of an argumentative question for you, and I think with what you've discussed and through the session so far, I kind of think you've already answered it, but I'm going to ask it anyway, if you don't mind. This one is, it says, what are we saying? Yeah. So far, a lot of the stuff that we've talked about in the sessions, like for instance, the human broadcast, the extraterrestrial broadcast, the Three Gorges Dam, all the stuff that's been brought up in the sessions hasn't really taken place. And we're just sort of wanting to know what the purpose of that is, And is this all sort of just sort of keeping us on our toes until we actually shift? What's going on here?
So again, it's about people having contracts where they wanted to naturally wake up, and so they haven't. A lot of people are still stuck. And we know the exact moment where we have to pull the plug on this and awaken them forcibly, which would be your broadcasts, which would be the holographic broadcasts. So we are honoring those still lost and asleep. And so while we are trying hard to make things so obvious now that they have to waken up, because that was what they wanted, and we want to honor that because there's still a huge proportion. Time, as you say, is running out for that. And so we wanted people to have been awoken earlier. Oh, absolutely. You know, we have said this many times, people must wake up now, because they wanted to choose to have this awakening themselves, to be able to find the truth and to be able to start thinking and questioning for themselves. There is still a lot of people that are sleeping. So it would have been unkind of us and unfair of us to have pulled and turned on the lights to the truth of everything while these people were still trying to slowly get through. They are making some grounds. There have been many seeds that have been planted for them to start stopping and thinking and questioning. But, you know, we are waiting patiently just as much as you. You all can help this process make things faster as well by sharing the truth. By clips, by sharing the truth of the clips and the videos of what's actually truly happening here, and you know, give people these more seeds to grow from. But we also know that you're a bit scared of sharing the truth because of the backlash. But when you're sharing just a video clip and nothing but just a video clip for food for thought, what does this mean? How, you know, like in quotation marks, your statement could be like, what does this mean now? How does this all fit into what we're being told? Question mark, question mark. I'm confused. What is this happening now? However you want to play it and share the information, it has to be shared just as much as we're trying to. We are raising the vibrations of your planet right now, so people are more intuitive than ever. But they have to start seeing the other alternative information, and when they're still watching mainstream media, and when no one's sharing things true much with them, and the social media is the key of awakening, and this is how you're helping your fellow man. And so there has been delays, many delays, because people are still slowly waking up. So this is our last chance right now. So, and also there has been other forces that have stopped and blocked other information coming out. And so if everything had been truly a fair playing field, a lot more information had been coming out. So mainstream media is still blocking a lot of the truth. And you know this, and this is why you have to rely on the social media, and that's still blocking the truth to some degree. So, you know, I mean, we don't like to say the word war, but it is, it's a big challenge that you guys are playing. It's a chess game, shall we say. So this has been one of the reasons why there has been those delays. The man-made broadcast that was going to happen before the election had started. It was going to be the information about Hunter Biden's laptop information. There was a lot of other footage there that should have gone out into the mainstream. There was also the truth about who had been keeping the man that had been accused of organizing the the Twin Towers. We want to say that name. One moment. The man who had been kept alive, who had been named, we can see his energy field, but we can't recall his name. And we know it's not Obama, but we keep seeing Obama, but it's not Obama. It is Andre, are you able to help us with the names because we can't see the name? It is the man who was accused of orchestrating the September 11 event.
Is it? Are you talking about Osama bin Laden?
Yes, Osama bin Laden. Joanne, like we keep showing Joanne Obama, and she's like, I'm not going to say Obama. He had nothing to do with this, or did he? So, yes, Osama bin Laden. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think. Oh no, never mind. Yes, that's Osama bin Laden.
Yes. Yeah. Him. Yes. We don't care about names, and so we can just see his energy field. And Joan's like, I don't care about energy fields, but anyway, so. Yes, that information about him actually about where he'd been kept after the events, and the Americans actually didn't know about it. And there was a lot of information, the truth about him actually, and how the Americans had actually paid for a country not to tell the world the truth about that. They knew he was there, the Americans knew he was there, and also the team that came to kill him also were killed themselves. So there's a lot of truth that had been suppressed that all had come out. So those were broadcasts, statements. There was a lot of information that had all kind of like trickled out into which the mainstream media should have picked up, but because they're so corrupt, they never did. And so this was supposed to be shared social media in the social media platforms about the truth about that. And so, there is so much that's leaking right now. It's a sieve of leaking truth. But because the election is been dominating most of the stuff, and because people want to share hatred about how they feel about Trump, for example, over finding out the truths, a lot of stuff gets distracted and blocked. So from people's attention, even, from their attentions of being able to cope with any other information. So a lot of stuff had come out and was waiting for people to share, because the mainstream media will never pick up anything, and it should have. And this is the huge thing. If people had shared the information about Osama bin Laden and him being alive for all that time, and then the people who had killed him actually were killed themselves in a very suspicious way, if that had been shared publicly and with amongst yourselves, you would have been waiting for the mainstream media to pick up on that, because it was huge information. So we know that there is so much more that we could tell you about, which has been all released publicly, that should have been picked up. And again, it's about people, needing to find out for themselves and waking up naturally, because this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to master being aware of the truths. This is very important to them, as you can imagine, as you all naturally did wake up. Think about how you woke up to the truth, and what it took for you and how you felt and processed through. It's a lot. So time delays, and if there had been, the mainstream media are blocking a lot, and so this is delaying things a lot. But also, again, you can see the bigger purpose and picture of that is to be able to keep on hoping and poking people to find their own truths, and to find the bigger truth, and to see who's the liars here and who's manipulating you here. And that's the key here. So yes, you're all wondering, well, is the broadcast going to happen? And we do want the broadcast to happen. We need the broadcast to happen. And it is about how many people are going to waken up. It is all, it's now just we're trying to waken. If the violence starts getting out of control and there's just too much carnage, we will have to step in, because it's going to make you all in fear more about crime, humans hurting humans. So, it's a very delicate game here that we are focusing on and watching. And so, we can't let it get too out of hand. So this is why we want you to focus on, the coming days and weeks, because it is very important to navigate that without being destroyed emotionally. You have to keep seeing the bigger picture and navigating through it. So we understand it's so frustrating, especially when you really
know what's happening and you're already wanting to pack up and go to New Earth like tomorrow. We understand that 100%. And, you know, we do know that while you have the bigger truths and the information that we have shared with you, there comes, you know, while you have that privilege, there's also a price to pay for that, which is patience. So you're welcome, but we also know that it's challenging for you. So, you know, this is your chance. If you've done all your homework and your inner work, then maybe you need to start helping your fellow man more. And however that looks, if someone's going to criticize you for sharing the truth, well, you know the truth. So is that going to offend you that they're still stuck? You're going to see they're still stuck. You're not going to be like, oh my gosh, they think so badly of me. You won't take it personally. You know it's them being still stuck in the mud.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I get that. It's just, you know, we put ourselves out there and we put the information up as raw as we got it. And of course, there was people hanging on the information and then it didn't happen. And that's what scares me anyway. And I suppose it's putting information out there and then of course it shakes up your own faith because you're thinking, my God, am I doing something wrong by putting this information up or misleading people, you know?
See, we understand. So Andre, did it kill you?
It did not kill me.
Did it kill any of your family or friends?
It did not.
Okay. And did anyone attack you and say that you're nothing but a pizza eating, loving, whatever?
Yeah.
No. Did anyone attack you personally?
No.
Okay. So was that just a worry that was going to occur?
It's just when it's just now that we're being urged or advised that we can put more information out there. It's this, what if we put this information out there and it doesn't happen? You know, for us as well as the people that we're giving information to.
We're asking you to consider posting the truth about what Trump is saying. We're asking you to share the truth about that. We're not saying post, you know, your diaries about moving to New Earth and that this planet's dying and, you know, you've got to get off here and got to raise your vibration and 5D is more than just a mindset, blah, blah, blah. You know, that stuff's too much. I mean, if people can't even see the truth, if people are not even aware that they've been lied to about mainstream media, you telling them about New Earth, I mean, they're going to check you into a mental institution. You know, like they are not prepared to believe that they have been lied to about anything and they will just resist it. So the truth we're trying to tell you to share is the truth about, for example, what is happening with Trump right now. You know, he's telling you the truth. He is saying what he's wanting to share about his experience with the election, and yet the mainstream media is attacking him on all fronts. And people are listening to the mainstream media if that's true. We have already said that people need to listen to Trump directly and see his videos directly. And that is all, because you know the mainstream media lie about it. So you want to catch the liars in their manipulation. And how you do that is sharing a video of Trump saying he doesn't understand why people have stopped counting the votes. So, you know, obviously you guys don't have to do it, you know, take it or leave it. We don't care, really, we don't care. But when people are, you know, manipulating and regurgitating the information to suit their own agenda, all you need to do is show the actual footage of Trump saying completely the opposite. You know, who's the liars here? So we're giving you these tools. It's all played out perfectly for you to be able to show the truth easily without having to add your own opinion in. So showing footage of Trump saying what he did is going to open up a lot of people's minds and make them question a whole lot, because they have been told something quite different for a long time.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Thank you for answering that. And I know it's probably annoying for you to hear it again and again. Oh, why isn't the information happening? But it's just, you know, I think you understand how tough it is here.
We understand that the process you have to go through and understand, and you know, you can now, while you all deserve to have the truth out there publicly, you also have to understand it's not you just dealing with life right now. It's all of these unawakened new people that are going to be very freshly awoken. So, you know, while, you know, yay, top marks, everyone listening here, you know, you guys will get it. There's also other people in the world right now, and we know you know that as well, but we have to be considerate of the people that are slowly winning this race too, who are slowly awakening. And so while while we have advanced people listening here who get it fully, we have to be considerate of the people who are a little bit slower, who are learning their lessons a little bit slower, and they are, maybe if you keep repeating the same mistakes and you eventually learn, maybe you've mastered that so much more than just skimming through, learning lessons. There is no good or bad for how many times you have to learn lessons, and if you're slow, you may have learned more deeper things than surfacely graduating. So, we understand that you are being very patient, even though you feel like you're not. You are still coping, and you are not really phased anymore how things unroll. You just trust it will. And you have those moments where you're like, "Excuse me, please explain yourselves." And we are happy to explain ourselves to you and remind you the bigger picture here, as many times as you need. We're always here to comfort you and give you our perspective. That's what we're here for. And we have told you so many times you're not alone. So we don't, if you are really struggling and you can't navigate through the bigger picture yourselves, we don't want you hanging and going, doubting yourself and being confused. We are here for you. Of course, we would like you to still keep asking yourselves and see what resonates with you, obviously. That would be fantastic. But we also know that you need support and comfort and guidance too. So we're here for you. We're not going to be bored of you asking the same questions if you need it. We are here. We're here. You're never alone. Never alone.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think everyone listening will take a lot from that. So thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is, this probably ties in with what we're just talking about. This lifetime here on Earth is to sort of master and feel the lower emotions, like fear and anger, etc. So how much can we really feel things like unconditional love and joy? I mean, are we meant to feel that here? Is it even possible?
It is a goal you are trying to achieve, is feeling that joy, feeling that unconditional love of self and others. And that is definitely, where you're trying to attain your lifestyle and mindset on, absolutely. However, yes, you are very limited to the pure unconditional love. And this is why lots of people like to enjoy the drugs that you can get on your planet, is because of that euphoria. And this is why a lot of people do enjoy drug taking, because they feel so completely back with source, even though they don't really know it as such. But you open up those gates to that, and your endorphins flood through, and it is just ecstasy and deliciously high vibrational. While you're not really in control of those experiences, you're just going with the flow as your drug-induced emotional state is occurring. We've lost track of our thoughts because Joanne's like, this, I've never experienced this. Like, we're showing her the feeling of it. She's never taken these drugs, so she's like, what? And now she's like, is this bad? Are you encouraging people to be taking drugs now? Yeah, this is not wise. But so we've distracted Joanne, and Joanne's distracting us. So anyway, this okay, so we probably realized that using this analogy of the drugs may be too enticing for people to want to start experiencing this. But you can experience the true unconditional love in those induced states. And so, yes, the normal person living life, unfortunately, doesn't always have that tapped in. The emotions you can tap into, for some mothers, they have this euphoria when they hold their babies for the first time. that is probably the closest that some people will feel to unconditional love. And though while we're saying this, we also know that a lot of trauma happens at birth, and so when the baby is plonked down on you, you're feeling so overwhelmed. It's not the pleasant. So please, if this is your scenario, don't feel like that's unconditional love, because that's not, that's not. But so thinking about puppies or ducklings or kittens or whatever your favorite animal is, and thinking about their baby versions of them, find a video of it, that feeling of, oh, cuteness, love, that is the closest you really will kind of get to unconditional, like happy love. But it is not your natural state on this planet in this lifetime. However, your other natural states, your higher advanced beings, they have that you have that as an ordinary state. So it is very hard for you to be in that marinated in that higher vibration of love and acceptance and wisdom and all here, unfortunately. And this is why it's so hard, and you are, when you tap in and meditate to yourselves and you feel yourselves, you do feel this warmth, this glow, not physically, but emotionally. So it is very hard. You signed up for all these lifetimes, and one of the things you do not really know or factor in is that while you're wanting these harder experiences on this planet, some of you actually assumed you would still feel the love and connection of Source and God, and have that higher that natural state of overall very powerful love. And so this is why some of you are really struggling, because while you sort of feel like you duped yourself and you tricked yourselves, because you didn't factor everything in, because it was not possible to be able to factor in everything that you were changing and losing, shall we say, when you come onto this planet and have these experiences. So we wanted you to love yourselves the best you can, while we also know it is not always going to be, and never really truly will be, that euphoria of being high, and so we understand a lot of people want to keep being high to be able to kind of feel that ecstasy, but we're not endorsing drugs right now for you guys. We want you to really meditate within, and we promise you that when you connect in with us, and surrender into the feelings of connecting with us, we will give you that natural high. And we will. You have to focus on that and trust yourselves with that. We would prefer you to get your natural high through us and connecting with us than, say, doing drugs. Can you understand it? It's too dangerous right now. You do not need to be offline emotionally and physically while you're taking these higher drugs. So, of course, it's no judgment, but please try us, try our drug. Yes, we want to say that. Try our drug, try us first, and see if this is something that resonates with you. It's a cleaner high, we promise. It is a cleaner high.
Yeah, and a lot cheaper also. That's me.
You can do it often, and there's no hangovers, and there's nothing. We help your body. We don't take from your body. You can be still social with us. So please try it. You will not lose control. It will be always the healthier, cleaner option, and we're always here for you. And so, but some of you may want to try this like in the bath, or when you are connected to water or something like that. Keep your water up, please. We're noticing that some of you are dropping off the water. So keep hydrating yourself. It is so important. We can't tell you this enough. You cannot overdose on the water. Obviously, yes, you literally can. Please don't. Know your boundaries and limits here. But please just respect. Eat as much pizza as you want. Do whatever you want to do to feed yourselves. Don't be pushed into anything. And just please focus on whatever you're eating, and good from healthy choice options, that's for sure. But please drink more of the water. Please bless your water and infuse it with your love. infuse it with our love if you want. If you don't feel like your love is good enough, you are good enough to receive love. You are very much responsible for your drinking of water. We cannot force you to, but we beg you to drink more of your water and to infuse our love, your love, into that water before you drink it. And as you are drinking it, say this is, with each gulp, say, flood me with love, I want to feel love, heal me, whatever the positive affirmations that you want with each gulp, and just keep doing that. You deserve this. Your body needs this for you right now. So please, if there's one thing that you take from us today is to keep your water high, please, because the more you flood yourselves with water, the more conduits you are to us. And this is very important. It is key for us to connect with you as much as we can, and we want full connection with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's amazing. How is Joe's body doing right now? Are we okay to keep going?
She's fine. She's worried. She's like, I hope people don't think that they were saying to take drugs.
No, it didn't come across like that.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I think the analogy was obvious what you were trying to get across. So I'll just say it for everybody: don't take drugs. It's not what they're saying.
She's a little bit like out of it because we gave her the euphoric experience with the love drug, and she's all like, oh my god, like she's happy. This is she wanted some healing today, so this is the experience that she's quite happy with. But she's sort of like, yeah, she's feeling drugged.
Are we cool to keep going, or should we give her a bit of time to enjoy it?
Yeah. Oh, she's been enjoying it. No, she's fine. She's fine. She feels like that's probably enough. We feel like we have shared everything that we want, that needs to be shared with today. And we know it's a big day for everyone and big days ahead. So we're happy with the content and the questions. And we don't feel like there is anything else we need to urgently share with you unless there is anything more important that you have, Andre.
No, I think if you guys are happy, then I think that we'll take the hint as well. But just to confirm that Joe's had her healing and she's got the healing she needs.
Yes, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. She's all good. And yes, we are very happy because the people listening here are the bigger perspective people. And we're very happy to connect with you guys because this isn't cheating. We're not giving you cheat sheets how to approach life. We know that you are already with us, you already agree with us, you already have been feeling exactly what we're just confirming with you today. So, we're very happy and we love you so much. We see that the trolls have left this channel and we can give you more love and more healing directly, knowing that we can connect you all once again to each other. You're all around the world. You're all feeling each other now, and this makes Joe feel very excited and happy because while you may feel like you're the individuals, you're the only person that you know that's listening to these messages, you are all a family and you all are connected, and that is more powerful than you know. And so you can all once again know that you're connected, and if you want to hold your hands out high and imagine holding each other's hands again, you can do that all safely without having a group healing with some people who are going to stay on the old earth. So you are now able to connect once again with each other, holding hands in a group hug and congratulating yourselves for being here where you are. Because it's pretty fantastic. And we're really, really, really proud of you guys. We know we say this all the time, but you are more advanced than everyone else that is around you and on this planet right now. And we know that, this isn't ego here because we don't have ego. So we're telling you, you are so advanced compared to the most people, even other spiritual people who are experiencing this stuff because they're still in trigger modes and still coping and struggling. And you guys aren't struggling like most. You have fine little questions.
and you're not crashing out. You are very much focusing and normally experiencing emotions. And this is fantastic. This is so fantastic. We see it all and we just think it's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think all the advice that what you gave us today is going to be really beneficial for everybody watching moving forward with the next few weeks. So well, thank you so much. And we'll